Master Carpenter Matt Jackson, inviting you to spend a few minutes on the job site with a master. During this bathroom remodel, part of the job is to remove sheetrock and tile from the walls, floor, etc. And the typical way to take sheetrock down is to start with a hammer, just beat some holes in it, enough to get a grip behind it, and then pull it off. But that makes a big dusty mess. When there's finished surfaces involved, I don't like to hit things that hard if I don't have to. So I'm going to put away the hammer and get out a couple of surgical tools for sheetrock removal. And the one is this CRL long-handled knife. This is I think this is a 12-inch version. They make an 18 also. It has a nice grip on the handle and on the shank. And then I put these wicked bad utility knife blades. They're at least twice as long as a regular blade. You got to watch out because that'll send you to ER if you're not careful. But the first thing I do is use this long knife to score the tape in the corners along the wall and the ceiling. Just a matter of putting that in the corner. Giving it a good push. With this long handle, I can put plenty of leverage on there and not worry about slipping and cutting something. And I don't rub my knuckles on the wall like I would with a regular utility knife. I do the same thing at the ceiling. And generally the sheetrock on the ceiling is hung before the sheetrock on the walls. So I'll cut with the knife in the horizontal position in case the blade wants to cut back in that little gap between the two pieces of sheetrock rather than cut this way. Either way it cuts the tape out of the corner, but this way it scores the ceiling sheetrock, and if I'm not removing that sheetrock, just one extra score line in there I don't like. You see how that blade is sticking in there now, sliced right through there without a problem. And now when I go to pull these sheets loose, it won't peel back onto these walls. In this case, I got to take more sheetrock out anyways. It makes the piece come out cleaner and easier, and it preserves that surface if that other surface is being saved. The next trick I use, rather than pounding holes and tearing this off in little pieces, is to use a cordless drill with a sharp Phillips tip bit on it. And I'll do a picture-in-picture with this if I have to. This is a good fast drill. Makes it nice. And then the magic bullet is this little Racketeer stud ball magnet. Same thing, I'll show another picture of it. But basically, this magnet is the perfect stud and or screw finder. It's got a plastic dongle on here, so I just rub it around the wall until it locates a screw. And because it's a ball, it stays stuck to the screw, so I can locate it and then dig in with the Phillips tip to pull the screw out. And that's not too slow of a process as it is, but just on this job I found a new method that makes this go even better and faster. And the trick is to just rub the magnet around on the floor. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's a bunch of metal filings on here, a little bit of rust. Who knows what else is stuck to that. And so now, when I go to mark a nail, the iron filings will stick to that nail head and help me pinpoint it quicker. And of course on camera this isn't going as efficiently as it does sometimes, but it is a quick and easy process. Like that. I'll do a couple close-ups. And it doesn't take a lot of magnetic dirt on the tip of that magnet to make it work well. And this screw you can almost see because of the pucker in the sheetrock. There's another screw down here, but there's no indication of it until the magnet hits it. You can see that there's a couple screws. These must be on the seam of the sheetrock. But the filings left behind pretty much pinpoint where that screw head is. And in that particular instance, it's a nail, I believe. Nope, I just missed the tip. You can use the same process with the magnet. When the sheetrock is nailed on, it locates them just the same. But in that case, I'll use a slide hammer nail puller to dig in and pull out the nails. This will pull out screws too, but it can do a little more collateral damage. Anyways, I'll link to the video that shows how to operate this tool for other applications, but you can see how it would work here to pull sheetrock nails when surgically removing sheetrock like this. I'm just going to carry on and get this sheet removed off of here. Usually if the screws at the bottom are pretty much visible. But if they're not, they're pretty easily located with the magnet. Some of these screws have little pucker marks that give them away, like that. I don't know if that shows up in the camera. I don't need the magnet on those. And it's kind of fun to see how quickly you can locate one of these screws without having to mine for it. Like that. They can go that quick. Sometimes you got to dig for them. The screws along a seam where the butt joints or where the tapered edges of the sheetrock come together, the taping compound is thicker, so the screw is deeper. It can be a little more difficult to pinpoint the screw head, or when the drill goes in, it wanders off the head of the screw, so those ones, sometimes you have to go mining for them. But same thing in the corners. The extra tape and mud can mean you have to do a little more digging, but with a high-speed drill and a sharp bit, that doesn't take long either. Interestingly enough, there's a wall protector plate protecting wires or something in here. You can see the magnet is actually sticking through the sheetrock to that metal protector plate in the back. Gives you an idea how strong the magnet is. I've got a little bit of a complication here because of those live water pipes. So I can't just swing this sheet out. I'll have to be a little more careful getting these sheets out of here, because I don't need a video of me having a geyser in the bathroom upstairs and ruining everything downstairs. So we'll see what we can get. Maybe I can get this to break at the seam, which is right there. You can see it show up in the shadow. And here I'm using a regular utility knife because I want to be in control of where that cut goes. I can do that better with a short handle. This is complicated a little bit, like I said, because of the water pipes, and also this piece was put on before this piece, so that corner is bound. But I'm able to surgically remove these pieces of sheetrock without billowing clouds of dust and buckets of crumbs, plus much less risk of damaging existing surfaces when the sheetrock's taken out in an orderly and controlled manner like this. And now I can simply fan fold the pieces using that regular utility knife. I notice I retract the blade every time I move. Because I had a near nasty accident once when I had the blade out. I went to pick up a sheet, my hand slipped off, and my knife hit me in the lip. Not a scenario I want to repeat. And next I'll get that grunt guy to haul this down to the truck and take it to the dump. Wait a minute, the grunt is me. Oh well, got to make it easier on yourself because nobody else is going to. So, I guess that's that little episode about surgical removal of sheetrock using a Racketeer stud ball magnet and a CRL long-handled utility knife. If you like the video and see something helpful here, hit the thumbs up for me if you would. YouTube recognizes that and helps promote the channel. There's other content similar to this, a wide range of things on Next Level Carpentry, so if you think this is helpful and useful, consider subscribing if you haven't already. In the meantime, I'm going to go grunt this down to the truck and have some lunch. Thanks for watching.